I'm Tippie, and this is Inside the Tape. We're here at Crankworx Innsbruck with Ryan Nyquist, and we're going to check out the slopestyle course. Are you ready, bro?
Woo!
Yeah!
Woo! Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
He sounds ready.
Yep.
I like that. Woo!
Woo!
What do we got here?
This is the very first thing you hit, which is the drop. So I'm not really sure how big. It looks big enough. And so what you do is you and then you're like towards the first big dirt-to-dirt kicker. We should measure that, though. That one feels big.
I heard this one's hard to make, actually.
It is. If you don't land perfect on the drop, like the speed is a little bit weird. So you might see some guys, I call them bogeys, taking some pedals down there, taking a bogey, and then you're like doing whatever trick after that. But I'll be one of those guys taking the bogey.
We call him a mulligan in Canada.
Either way, bogey, mulligan.
Yeah.
It all counts, or it doesn't count.
Yeah. Let's go check out this first big booter.
All right, ready?
All right. Oh. All right, so here's this first big wall.
Yeah, it's big. It's big and mellow. There's not much pop to this one, which is, to me, I like lips a little bit more pop. So you're going to see a lot of guys doing some threes, some flips, probably some fronties. But I'm really curious to see what the actual distance is. Because it feels like we said, if you don't have the speed, you're like pushing through here. And there's not much to really kick you, so you can really get some good distance on this one.
Okay, I saw a lot of people case this one, though.
I know, that's what I mean. If you look at all those little marks on the landing over there.
Yeah. If
If you don't land perfect in the middle, you're seriously
compromising speed.
yeah, you have to really get some pedals. So if you're landing anywhere but the sweet spot, you're going to be taking some bogeys here.
Okay, let's go measure this one.
Yeah, please.
I'll go up there, and then you go to the landing. What do we got? We got 10 meters. Yeah, 32 feet. So this first booter is 32 feet, 10 meters about.
Yeah.
And then you get a big carvy right turn.
Yeah, this one's awesome because you land here and you're just flying. It's still a little bit moist from that first rain we had during the week, so it really hasn't dried out, but that's almost good because you can come into this with almost more of the speed than what you need to hit that cannon log, and then literally you kind of have to brake and just feather your way until you feel right, and then you can go super deep on that landing. Even when I went long, I still had plenty of speed, so it's I'd rather go long than short any day of the week. Yeah. But this thing is nice. Look at the tracks, just swooping
So is this a boner log, even though it's there's a log underneath, but it's still a wide ladder bridge style, North Shore style?
Yeah, definitely boner log, huge boner. The thing about these is the step down. So even though it's not steep and there's no kick, you have a ton of drops. So tricks like flips, spins, anything like that makes it a little easier because you're not necessarily hitting it like a double where it's even or even a step up. It's a big step down. So the amount of time you have on this is really cool because you can fit an extra bar spin in there or whatever. But then when you land, you're screaming that first left-hand hip. So, but like I said, you can have almost way too much speed coming into this and go super deep, but you might still be able to clear that. But when you hang up, that's when you have to really pedal and make sure, because that one can be really hard to, basically hard to clear if you don't have the speed. It's the most dangerous thing I do all weekend. Okay. All right, so we're looking at roughly 24, 25 feet on this one. But that's not straight out. I don't know how much it'd be here, but it's probably a little bit longer going down. But yeah, 25, 24 feet. So decent little jump, But like I said, this could be 35 feet. Honestly, as hard as you can rail that berm, you could go 35 feet on this and then have that next. That'd be huge. But it's kind of nice that they kind of slow it back down a little bit, because otherwise you start flying down this hill real fast.
So what is this jump called?
I call this one King Kong Booter, a.k.a. the Big Daddy, a.k.a. Monster, a.k.a. Big Old Thang.
Big old thang.
Yeah, big old thang is what I usually go with. But basically, this is the hip after you hit that boner jam. So you're gonna see a lot of guys maybe a little baby hang-ups on this and having to take a pedal and then push through the next set. So pretty technical section, if you will, as far as just gauging your speed.
So I thought slopestylers were crazy, but it sounds like you had to be a pretty smart guy to be a slopestyler.
I'm crazy smart.
That's the both worlds.
Yes.
Crazy people don't know they're crazy.
What?
Oh, God.
Oh.
Almost 11 feet 10 inches.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's big.
That is big.
That's double me, for sure.
3.6 meters.
If I was a surfer, I would say that's double overhead, bro.
Hang loose going down there.
Yeah, bro. Oh, you got that?
I think I got that.
Are you gonna run up?
Oh, God.
You got it. Yes. All right, so from the lip to kind of rounding where most people are landing, I would say is roughly 27, 28 feet long. So this one's big, and like I said, you could go a lot shorter. Like if you went to the inside, it's gonna be a lot shorter. We're talking 23 feet from the inside, so it really depends on where you aim for. If you aim inside, you're gonna have a lot, like about 5 feet shorter, but if you go to the outside, it's gonna be probably about 5 feet longer. So you gotta be careful about how you aim when you take out that lip and what kind of speed you have.
Are you landing inside or outside?
It depends on what I do on that. If I land like a ton of crap, I'm shooting way inside and then just trying to find my line back to that lip. You know, so it's like really, as soon as I'm landing, I'm calculating where I need to go.
So what are you calling this one?
The other big old thing. Basically, that's the first one's a hip to the left. This is about the same size lip, I'd say, but just hip to the right. So again, if you land really bad on that, you can kind of aim to the inside. So you want to land in that perfect sweet spot because that lines you up perfect for every single lip. So after this one, you go into that whale tail. But this one, you really got to be kind of landing like on the far left side. All right, so like I said before, the first one's a hip to the left. You really want to try to land in that center because it lines up perfectly with this lip. This lip is about the same height and kind of the same steepness as the first hip. But this one is a hip to the right. So realistically, you want to land in that perfect sweet spot, which is right about in the middle, maybe middle left. But the next lip is far on the left side. So if you're really cutting this thing short, you're going to have to swerve over pretty hard to
lose some speed.
I mean, you're going to be way off track, honestly. It's like, I'll show you when we head over there, but like, you really want to try to land in the middle of this one. So like, you can kind of fudge this one, but like, if you're not have the speed, you're going to have to take a pedal to make sure you want to land in that perfect spot. Because anything you have planned on that whale tail, you better be setting up perfectly straight for it.
All right. And if you do it right, then it ain't no thing.
Ain't no thing. The big old thing ain't no thing.
So this one's like slightly smaller, eh, than the other big old thing?
Yeah, distance-wise, it's about, I'd say probably close to 20. But the thing is, they built this whole platform up. So you can see behind me, the landing's not even as tall. So you're really landing on this and then kind of scrubbing speed because you don't have as much as like a downward force to bump into. So that's another point in the course where they had to plan that accordingly. So they raised this whole thing up. And so you go into this next one, which is basically the step up into the whale tail. So remember how I said that you had to land perfect? Like kind of in the middle, almost more to the, I guess when you're looking at the left. So this is where you want to be lined up. If you land on the inside, like you're going pretty much almost into the speed and style line.
Yeah.
So you have to like kind of adjust for where you're going on this. So if you land on the inside, you have to scrub over, pretty much flat track turning, and then try to get on that lip. So for a guy like me, I turn to the left. If I land over here and have to swerve to the right and then go up and then swerve to the left, it totally messes me up. So like this one's critical for me. I think critical for a lot of guys too. Making sure you have the right speed and setting yourself up right for that.
It's like being a racer and picking the right line to set yourself up for the next obstacle.
It kind of is, man. Like there's definitely like some things that could truly mess you up. Like if I was over here and I went to go do something on that, I'm gonna be thinking in my head like, all I'm looking at is literally the mountains, and if I go out that lip that way, I'm in a bad way right there. So I have to make my way to get straight and go up into that whale tail and then get set up. Because honestly, the whale tail is a place where you get a lot of points too. Like these are going to be great for tricks and stuff like that, but I think the whale tail is going to be a big standout for a lot of stuff happening too.
Okay, cool. Let's go check out the whale tail.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. So there's no like hay bales or anything down here, so you got to make this.
Yeah, no, there's no safety here. It's just it's all for one for all. If you don't make it, you're out. There's like 3 alternates waiting to get your spot. So it's pretty cutthroat out here, if you know what I mean. But yeah, this is basically the step up in the whale tail. Again, we're on this platform that they made. They raised this whole thing up, and I keep mentioning that because when we get to the step down, you're going to see a big difference.
That's good trail building.
Yeah. Oh, it is. They really thought about this, honestly, because it's a nice little downhill slope so you don't catch a lot of speed, but they have to build it accordingly so you're not just flying when you get to the bottom of it.
So we're on the other side of the whale tail. It doesn't seem all that skinny, really. Is it much skinnier than Rotorua?
No, I don't think so, but it's just a setting, you know. Honestly, it's like the way the sun hit it's just... It changes, and riders kind of like a lot of it is just visual. So if you look at something and it pops in your head, it's skinny, that's going to stay with you. So for me, this seems okay, but like I said, everybody has their own way of dealing with things. This is one where actually you can go really far on if you're not careful about your speed. So I try to land there, and then I don't pump, I don't do anything, I just relax. And I've been spinning off of this thing and landing pretty good. So realistically, it's set up pretty good speed-wise. You know, and I think this is, like I said, like a part where people can either roll the dice and try something a little more difficult, or you can try something a little bit more tamer and then really get yourself set up for that last jump, that's a really tall lip, and it's not, I don't think, super far, but it just sends you kind of up. It's really mellow, so we can go check that out if you want.
So now you're into the final jump of the course.
Yeah, so right here you're landing down that step down, the 30-footer, and you are screaming and you're pumping because you want to get as much speed as possible for this giant lip. This one might be taller than the other ones, and it's definitely mellower, so it doesn't have that kick, but it just kind of throws you in the air. So you want to have as much speed
Why
as
does it
possible.
throw you in the air if it doesn't have as much kick?
I don't know. It's just like this launch. It's like an Evel Knievel ramp, but like way steeper. So like if you imagine Evel Knievel, he just kind of rode off. There wasn't like a pop for him. He was just on his crazy Harley, like blah. But this is like a lot steeper, but just doesn't have like a tight radius on there. So a tighter radius would kind of like catapult you into like a pop. And this is just like a real long, mellow one. So this lip's a little tricky. It's different for spins. You got to be super patient and just wait till you get to the top. So in some ways, spins for me are a little more difficult than like flipping. I think you're gonna see a lot of guys flipping on this one.
A mountain up there.
It's huge.
Yeah.
Massive.
Massive.
Huge.
Gargantuan.
Huge.
Humongous.
Huge.
Huge.
Huge. Yeah. We can make noises all day.
I know, totally. I'm totally having fun with this. Wop, wop.
Right,
Ah!
Come on, you got this, you got this, you got this, you got this. Spray him down, get him. Oh! Roughly 12 and a half feet in height on this one. Last lip, 12 and a half feet tall. So not as tall as the Rotorua lip, but definitely tall enough to get what you need out of this. So yeah, that's big.
Okay, so now, providing you've made it thus far, you're in a good place to be here into the finish curl.
Yeah, the last thing you have to do is just not crash before the berm, which is sometimes the hardest thing ever because you're so excited. This is where you're going to see all the celebration dances we talked about in Rotorua. Notably, Nikolai probably has the best ones. He does everything from like, listens to the crowd and then just does this one. He'll throw his helmet down and just completely ruin his helmet. I mean, he does them all. He's the king of celebration. So I look up to him for that and that only.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Cool.
so this has been Just the Tape. Wait, just the tape?
Inside the tape.
Oh.
Inside the tape with Ryan Nyquist.
Yeah, me.
It's goodbye from me and goodbye from him.
Yeah, bye for him. Bye for us.
Thanks for checking it out, everybody.
Right.